and it's a lonely job. And I'm also not surprised. Yeah, it really is. So I'm not surprised that you've got people, you know, from the family and so forth and so on. Look, I've always said, I always thought that it was good if your first job in government wasn't President of the United States.
Yes.
But that's where we are. And so...
that's hilarious. Yeah. First job.
But it's where we are, and it's not surprising to me that, therefore, this is an unconventional White House staff.
Well, it is that. It is that. Now, with Hope gone from the administration, he's losing another member of his inner circle at the White House. And I guess the question is, you know, we've actually already answered this, but how important is it for him to have his peeps in there?
Yeah. Well, I think loyalists are really important. And again, if you have loyalists in politics, people that are truly your ride or die, that no matter what are going to go down with you or up with you no matter what. And as the candidate that didn't come from politics, it was strange that, you know, his communications director, I think, worked on Ivanka's fashion blog beforehand, but by all reports, she has glowing accolades from everyone from General Kelly to the president himself, very close with Ivanka. I was shocked at this news yesterday. I thought she would be one of the people turning the lights out whenever it is that he leaves in 3 years or 8. And I will say that the White House is plagued with these communications and narrative problems. And I do think maybe if you're General Kelly sitting there and you're just like, the Rob Porter scandal, her saying white lies, which, as you pointed out, Joy, I don't really know what that means. And all communications director, but all communications directors spin. And you know, spinning on some level can be interpreted as lying, or at least pushing the truth in a way that you want. And this White House seems completely incapable of controlling their narrative. So maybe it's not such a bad thing.
Can I take up the point of loyalty for a second?
Yes.
Because, I mean, he lies. He lies all the time. Everybody knows it. And then his loyalists double down on the lies. I don't think that that's a good thing for them to do. But that's because they're being loyal to the liar.
But I will say that there is a difference between...
I have to say this. Harry Truman said, if you want loyalty in Washington, get a dog. Because it's a very tough town, and don't underestimate how important it is for the president to have people around him with whom he feels comfortable. But to Cindy's point, I think they've just had a lot of trouble. I'm sorry, Megan.
Cindy was here yesterday.
Cindy was here yesterday. I know her mom very well, so I apologize for that. But Megan, I think, to Megan's point, I think the big issue is that they're having trouble with messaging. They're having trouble with messaging because discipline in messaging is really important, and it's frankly hard when the president is his own messenger.
Well, but how about this? How about
tweeting? That makes it exceedingly hard.
If the messenger doesn't know jack about the job.
That seems to be the case. Because the message comes from the top.
I get a lot of schadenfreude because during the election, people like, I mean, I would never compare myself to you, but people who have had any experience in politics or on campaigns were really vilified. We're the swamp creatures, drain it. They're all awful. Do you know what swamp creatures do? They like the swamp. They're good at knowing how to manipulate it and work in it. Maybe if you had a few swamp creatures working in your White House, you wouldn't have so many people jumping ship heading back to New York City.
And also, you know, there's nothing wrong with being a swamp creature, because you know how to get around. You know, but when you have somebody who can't give you the message because he doesn't know how the message comes out. I mean, he led a televised bipartisan meeting yesterday with lawmakers about guns in America, where he seemed to be open to a lot of interesting gun reform, and he even accused Republican Senator Toomey of being afraid of the NRA. Now, he says he wants to make some changes, but somehow he's not aware, he wasn't aware that this gun discussion has been going on for quite some time.
Well, but he was part of the gun discussion, and if I remember correctly, in 2000, he was in favor of an assault a weapon on assault, a ban on assault weapons. And so I wonder, who are we seeing now? Are we seeing the real Donald Trump?
No, we're seeing the same guy we've been seeing the whole time.
But
sometimes he's over here, sometimes he's over here, sometimes he's over here.
It doesn't mean,
you know, it's like Bugs Bunny. Have you ever seen the Bugs Bunny cartoon where Bugs plays all, you know, he's the batter and then he's the catcher, and that's him.
But that's the thing, is the NRA going to turn on him?
I'm going to tell you something. One thing that people kind of like is that it's not a canned message all the time. I think that's one of the things that people got tired of in Washington. And so people change their minds. And if we get a change on gun control, that's not a bad thing.
I totally agree with what you're saying, that his message has this populist resonance because it's so real. I will say, when you have people like Laura Ingraham today talking about, don't even worry about 2020, if you turn on Second Amendment, people like myself and the NRA, I was watching it yesterday, like you, Sonny, and I was like, I guess he is the leftist gun grabber that I always assumed he was, sitting in Midtown Manhattan. Because some of the things, but it's bizarre to me that he spoke at the NRA convention, he has huge NRA support across the country,
$30 million
and all of a sudden he's lecturing Pat Toomey on being afraid of the NRA. Give me a break.
But this is who he's been this the entire time. You can't. He will say one thing and then he will go and do something totally different. This is who he's never changed up the fact. And I get that people like that, but what I don't understand is when you are in the midst of serious business. This is serious business. This is not like a tiptoe. This is the President of the United States has the toughest job in the world.
That's right.
It is a tough job because you're trying to balance all of this stuff. And if we can't trust you to make a decision that whether we like the decision or not, that we don't have to go to bed and think, oh my God, what is it going to be tomorrow? I don't want to do that for the next time. No.
My final note.
Wait.
Sorry.
We're coming back to gun control, right?
We'll see what happens.
All right.
We'll be right back with more.